Hey guys, Patrick Wind here and welcome to this training model in which I'm going to show you the full funnel benchmarks. So this is actually a very nice tool that I've created together with my team over the past months and which really helps you to analyze each aspect of the funnel, coming from the price independent internal KPIs to the price dependent external KPIs, and to see if they're good or not good, and based on that you will take different actions. So for example, if I know that my cost per acquisition is double as high as what it should be, well, then I should of course turn off the ad set or change the audience or change the creative. And on the contrary, if I see that my cost per acquisition is only half of what it could be, of what I could, with what I would still be profitable, well, then I should of course increase the budget and do micro variations, so on and so forth. So, but as you very well know, these KPIs are in the real world, they are more ambiguous, so it's not that clear usually that you have a very good cost per acquisition and all the other KPIs are very good and it's that easy. Or on the contrary, the cost per acquisition is bad, or I even sell nothing in one ad set, but all the other KPIs are also bad. So this is usually not the case. Usually what you see is that you have very good cost per view content, very good cost per add to cart, and then nobody initiates checkout or nobody purchases, and so on and so forth. So that's just very important for you, that you see like in each area of the funnel where do I perform good or not so good, and where is actually the drop where I can improve. So let's go through all of those KPIs and see how this tool actually works. So imagine that you're selling Rockets bracelets for 30 euros and you have a profit margin of 60%. So imagine that 40% are the variable costs. So this one adapts everything here adapts automatically. The only thing that you have to change is what's the average basket size, so what's the average price of your product, what's the variable costs, and then the profit margin. You see it basically takes this cell, multiplies it by 1 minus 40, so per 60%, and that's the profit margin in euro then already. And this one it takes here already in this cell, and all of the rest is taken dynamically based on the drops that you see here. And those drops are derived from our own experience and from over 30 different e-commerce companies that I have analyzed, or that we have analyzed, and they usually get these drops. So from 100 people that click, that do a link click, only 86 realize the cost per landing page view. Out of all the people that viewed your content, or let's say out of 100 people that viewed content, 23 you lose, so therefore 77 continue. Out of 100 people that add to shopping cart, you lose 48, and 52 initiate the checkout process, and out of 100 people that initiate the checkout process, you lose 24, so 76 continue. And this is based on the internal on the ads manager accounts that that we have analyzed. And this is for Facebook. And for Instagram, the KPIs are a little bit different, and here you also have the drops for them, but you don't have to worry too much about that because everything is already here with formulas. So the only thing that you have to do is you just have to enter the average basket size, so for how much do I sell it, and what's the variable cost in percentage that I have, and then the profit margin is already calculated, and all the KPIs are here automatically. So imagine, for example, that I sell sunglasses for, let's say, 80 euros and profit margin is 30 euros. The variable cost is 30%, so the profit margin is 70%. So the maximum cost per acquisition that I can afford is 56 euros. Because when I have 56 euros cost per acquisition, then I could still cover all my variable costs and would be break even. So that's the maximum that I could afford. And then of course, if the cost per acquisition is lower, then it's good. And if it's even only the half or lower than the half, it's of course very good. And if it's 50% more expensive or even twice as expensive, then it's not good. And this is taken for all the KPIs when it comes to the funnel. and you can of course play around with it as much as you want. And here's also the definition of each of the abbreviations. So cost per mil, click-through rate, cost per click, cost per landing page view, cost per view content, cost per add to cart, cost per initiate checkout, and cost per website purchase. So feel free, play around with this tool with your own data, compare it to your own benchmarks, see what numbers you really have in your own account, and then based on the numbers that you get here, you make decisions on a positive way or in a negative way, depending on what KPIs you really have. So guys, I'm looking forward to seeing some very good results from you based on this benchmark analysis, and I'm looking forward to seeing the next video. Thank you very much. Goodbye.